Welcome to another episode of CPPR Global High Tea with me, Gazi Hassan, Senior Research Associate, Center for Strategic Studies. Today, I will be discussing on growing tensions between Japan and South Korea. I will give a brief background of the historical discontent between the two and trace it to the present crisis. I will be highlighting on its role on the geopolitics and the global economy. Japan-South Korea relations have always been in contestation even after the normalization of relations in 1965. Japan apologized to South Korea for its colonial exploitation and offered financial compensation to the comfort women, the sex slaves, and forced labor from Korea used during the World War II by the Japanese. This was followed by the establishment of the formal diplomatic relations. Although this smoothed out relations at the state level, but public opinion continued to be divided. Large protests and demonstrations against the normalization took place across South Korea. The problem with the Japanese approach is that it assumes economic compensation and a formal apology are sufficient to heal the deep-seated psychological wounds. These are admittedly important, but in a situation such as this, must also accompanied by a deep sense of compassion and remorse. However, Japan and South Korea have been able to devise mechanisms to keep their economic, cultural, and security equations isolated from the historical baggage. They cooperate in mutually beneficial sectors, bilateral trade relations, educational exchanges, and tourism over the years have increased exponentially. The recent crisis flared up in July after Japan imposed control on three chemicals crucial to South Korea's semiconductor industry. It shattered the whole mechanism. The export driven South Korean economy, led by big technology groups such as Samsung, SK Hynix, and LG Electronics, relies heavily on the materials from Japan. Japan also decided to remove South Korea from white list of trusted trade partners with preferential trade status. By removing South Korea from its white list, Japan targeted South Korea economically. South Korea, on the contrary, took retaliatory measures. It terminated its military intelligence sharing agreement with Japan. This will prove detrimental when Japanese were averse to the building nuclear capabilities of North Korea and will make it harder to solve the Korean crisis, thereby increasing risk to the US forces in the region. China, as a result of this dispute, can unabatedly continue its maneuvering in the South and East China Sea. Japan and South Korea are large exporters of products such as chips and smartphone displays. An escalated trade war between the two could be bad news for the global technology industry, and consumers may end up having to pay more for the product. This development is disturbing and unhelpful for the global economic sentiment, with already existing trade wars between the United States and the rest of the world. The prices of the semiconductors could rise if South Korean manufacturers cut production as a result of Japan's trade restrictions, and high cost may be passed on to consumers, thus raising the prices of the electronic goods. South Korea has the most to lose. Its security is strongly tied to cooperation between the United States and Japan, and its ability to effectively engage with Pyongyang and the Beijing is based not only on its own capabilities but also on the security alliance with the United States and the Japan. The dispute is starting to threaten the regional security balance in the Northeast Asia. Japan needs South Korea as a security partner to check China's quest for hegemony in the region. They need to work together to cope with the revisionist policies of North Korea, China, and Russia, all authoritarian countries wanting to overturn the post-war international order. At a time when United States has raised concerns around China-based technological companies and a need for a stronger cooperation between its partners in response to the rise of China and North Korea's nuclear program, it is confronted by this bilateral bickering. Japan and South Korea dispute creates space in the market for Chinese state-backed firms to establish themselves as a potential players. Chinese companies could potentially step in to fill all the shortfalls in the supply of tech parts. So geopolitically as well as economically, China is best placed to step in and fill the vacuum, further tightening its grip in the region. This was all for this segment of Global High Tea video series. Follow hashtag CPPR Global High Tea for all the updates and also to see our previous videos. If you like this video, please like, comment and share. Thank you.